Greetings, and today I welcome you guys to another card reveal sort of opinion video. The reason why I didn't post a video yesterday, and that's my apologies, is because I was waiting for more cards to come out, and nothing came out. I mean, two cards came out, but then I thought I wanted to wait till more, and today a total of four plus the two that I saw yesterday got released. So I thought I'd share this sort of short little video, sort of sharing my thoughts on these cards. I think I'll recognize which cards were the ones that got released and which ones haven't. So I know for a fact that I like how Plague Gwent actually put up their card list here for the new expansion, so we kind of know, like, you know, how many cards were released and how many are still yet to come out. And it's great that they're not revealing a whole lot, but for the ones that have already come out, I thought I'd just do a bit of a, you know, analysis of these cards and see what I think of them. Okay, so the first card on this list, we have Battle Preparation. Lets you boost an allied unit by 4 and give it 2 armor. So it's not giving us, like, the provision cost, or if there's any armor on these units, they won't give us that. They won't show us that. It said on the This Week in Gwent video that they will show it later, but you know, let's just go with what they got for now. So this card, a Nilfgaard card, good support for any Nilfgaardian cards that require armor as support of as either part of their protection, or if they have some sort of barricade ability. Then Battle Preparation is perfectly great for that. Even then, even if it doesn't have it, it'd be a pretty decent source of defense. So for example, if you're trying to defend one of your engines, so probably to protect those Assimilate cards, those ballistas, for the tactics, you know, any engine cards, that would be great for Battle Preparation, plus boosting it by 4. Because I know a lot of the engine cards have 4 or less power, so you'd be out of range on the Leo Bonhards and the Geralt of Rivius and all that stuff. So yeah, I think Battle Preparation, that's a pretty decent card, although I don't recall seeing a lot of Nilfgaard. Oh yeah, the Ardbane crossbowman. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so I completely already forgot about him already, and I was talking about here, does Nilfgaard have any armor cards? Yes, it does. So it'd be good support for the Ardbane crossbowman. I think, oh yeah, well, he's not really going to be that useful with the ability, but it looks like more Nilfgaard cards are coming out, so maybe we'll see more support with this card later, but I think this card is already sort of good support. I don't know if it's going to be a 4 or 5 provision, but I don't see it being that much. Probably a 4, no more than 5, that's for sure. Alright, so moving on, we got Mad Charge. This is a Northern Realms card, I think. Yeah, I think it is. It's blue. You move a unit to the other row. If it's an ally, boost by 4. If it's an enemy, damage it by 4. So, the move mechanic, I thought that was more of a Scoia'tael kind of thing, because I know a lot of the dwarves, like, not dwarves, I know Bruver relies on a lot of move. I think the, yeah, like I always recall that a lot of the moving mechanics always happen in Scoia'tael, but I know also for a fact that so Mad Charge would be good counter to sort of those cards that rely on being on a certain row to have their abilities activated. So this could provide us decent disruption, especially if it's your opponent. Then you can damage them by 4, which means you have a chance of possibly destroying them, because that is big damage right there. If it's an ally, whereas if you got disrupted and you want to move it back to the row where it needs to be, then you got Mad Charge, not to mention it gives it a boost. So Mad Charge, I say, is a pretty good card, because if you get, and even if the moving doesn't really matter anyway, you can use it as either an extra boost or an extra, or as pretty much damage to possibly remove a good card from your opponent's side of the field. So this card, there's a lot of ways to work with this card, and I like it. Next card we got over here is Piercing Missile. So you just straight up damage an enemy unit by 4 and you ignore its armor. This is a very specific target card. Like, this is only gonna work better for units with armor. So it's gonna deal 4 damage. So it's pretty much just a deal 4 damage. And it just, like, so even if there's armor, it bypasses the armor and destroys it. This is a neutral card, I think. Yeah, it's a neutral card. So it can be used by pretty much any faction. I see this. I mean, I know cards like AT have been seeing more gameplay lately, just because of, you know, more damage output that's being put into decks. So I can see this possibly making its way into certain decks. Like that big damage by 4 is actually pretty good. Again, it goes with the whole, like, a lot of 4s right here. Boost by 4, boost / damage by 4, damage by 4. So they're really, like, upping the ante on these special cards doing damage. So I already know Tourney Joust is already pretty popular in Nilfgaard decks. Whenever for a fact Hefty Helga was played in the Gwent Challengers tournament, It was always taken out by Attorney Joust if they were playing against Nilfgaard. Like it stood no chance. So yeah, these 4 damage cards are getting pretty interesting. Next we have the Andriga Larva. And its ability is, I think this is Necker's ability at the moment. It's Thrive, just like the Necker, and on deploy you spawn a base copy of this unit and summon it to this row, just like Necker. So that either tells me that Necker's ability should get changed, because what's the point of having 2 cards with pretty much near identical, if not identical, abilities? Because it has the Thrive keyword on both, and it spawns a base copy of unit and summon to this row for both. So one of these 2 cards has got to change. So I can see Necker being changed there a little bit, unless there's gonna be an insectoid focus mechanic, in which case then that's probably where they might go with that. But yeah, I don't see it being that way. I see it being as one of those cards that's got to get changed, because I'm pretty sure they have the same ability. Yeah. The next card here that I saw is the Iron Falcon Footman. So this is a bear. I don't know if this is Scoia'tael or neutral. I think this is Scoia'tael. Yeah, it has, because, oh wait, no, that's Scoia'tael. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in just because I want to know. No, I think this is neutral. This is neutral. I just want to make sure that all my other information is right, because Piercing Missile I said was neutral. Northern Realms, Monsters, Nilfgaard. Okay, yeah, so this is a neutral card. So, the Iron Falcon Footman. Every time it has armor, at the end of every allied turn, it boosts itself by 1. So it's a lot of those conditional progressive boosts. Like I know Townsfolk has this for Syndicate, where it's every time you get a coin, boost itself by 1. I know the I forgot the name of that card from Nilfgaard, but whenever it's the only card in its row, it gets boosted by 1. The Iron Falcon Footman's gonna be the same thing, except this time it's not going to be sort of set up for removal. But instead it's probably going to be target for, like, you know, damage output cards who want to get rid of its armor to sort of prevent that boost. But the problem with that being, like, if you miss out on an opportunity to outright get rid, like eliminate a unit, then, you know, I don't think there's going to be any other point to doing it just to remove someone's armor, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these cards that are gonna get revealed, they're going to give armor in some way. So it's like, if there's a card that progressively gives armor, try to go for them first before you go for the unit with the barricade ability. Just otherwise, I feels like your efforts would have been gone to waste a little bit. So I can see like sort of the armor mechanic being countered by, let's say, like any cards that do a lot of ping, or just straight up removal decks. So I can possibly see, like, not Scoia'tael, but, like, you know, it's like special Scoia'tael coming back in a way, just to sort of counter this, just because, you know, this armor I can see the armor mechanic being a bit of a pain. I know it wasn't this much of a pain back then in the old Gwent, because I know only certain cards supported it. Like, I know the old Redanian Elite, Redanian Knight supported it, the old Redanian Elite sorted it, the Troll sorted it, I don't know if it's Dunban or Cavalry, or I remember which cavalry it was, but they also supported it where you get rid of an armor and then it boosts itself by the amount of that armor. Something tells me there's going to be a card like that here. But we'll see. So yeah, that's the Iron Falcon Footman. The next we have Boat Builders, and this is sort of going to the supporting of the ship archetype in for the Skellige faction. So they're starting to give they're trying to give these factions more support on their sort of distinguished archetypes. Like, for example, monsters, pretty straightforward. You got the Absorb, the Consume Syndicate. You got the coin. Skellige, we're gonna get the ships, which is great because I enjoyed playing with the ships. Like, that was a fun archetype to play with, and I like that they're getting more support. So you on deploy, you give 2 armor to a unit. If it's a ship, it gets 4 armor instead. So this is good for protection for ships, and it's a 5 power. So my guess is this is probably going to be a 5 provision, possibly 6, because giving it 4 armor is quite a lot. But I think it's going to be 5, but I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, I like how they're finally giving support to the ships. Like when I saw Raiding Fleet on the last video, it was great because you got to kind of thin out your ships a little bit, and you can actually next turn, if that ship stays alive, then you can use Boat Builders to protect it. There could be some ships here that have the barricade keyword again, like for wanting to, you know, support that armor. Obviously they don't want to give like it looks like here they're kind of spreading out the armor mechanic on all factions, which is actually pretty great. But as for the moment, it looks like it's mainly on Northern Realms. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. No, I'm wrong. It's pretty spread out. So I think they're just trying to diverse the armor mechanic, because I know this is Syndicate right here. Works with armor. Living armor is neutral with armor. Cave Troll, Defender. So yeah, so those were the 6 cards that got released. Well, yesterday and today. I think I saw 2 of them yesterday, 4 of them today. Pretty interesting cards. I'm starting to see a sort of an idea on what's going to look like what the what the full release is gonna look like. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna know what the cards are, but like, you know, seeing how there's a lot, like they're really bringing back the armor in a much bigger way than when it was back in the old Gwent days, which is great. I hope Radovid doesn't disappoint himself. I shouldn't expect him to be disappointing. It should be great. And other than that, leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment on what any of the cards that you guys thought is good, or any that you think might, you know, might work or might not work, because I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, and subscribe for more Gwent videos. And other than that, this is Enzo signing out. I'll catch you guys in the next one.